What's going on, guys? So for the sake of a shorter video, I'm just going to put out some of my thoughts today. So recently I've been dabbling around with the eBay fee calculator here, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fun to try to reverse engineer a lot of different kinds of reseller claims so that we get a full understanding of unit economics versus prediction accuracy, and whether or not reselling itself is profitable. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make money, especially with a single transaction. You absolutely can. But what does it take to be profitable for the whole activity in itself? Because oftentimes when they make these videos, they like to throw out those big revenue numbers. And we all know that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if you don't sell a certain percentage of your haul, you haven't made your money back yet. So we're going to do that together right now. So for the sake of just this exercise, I went ahead and did my best to use some simple numbers, yet very close to real world numbers. And to make it relatable, I decided to do it in the clothing category. So you can see that my item category here is in clothing, shoes, and accessories. So for my cost of goods, I just put $6 over here. And as for shipping costs, when you think about ground advantage these days of sending around stuff that is anywhere between 8 ounces to a pound, $6.50 is about right for the time of this video. And what do resellers often like to claim as far as the profit that they make per sale? I usually hear them say something around 40 to 60%. Leave in the comments below, what do you often hear? So I hear something like that. So the brag is somewhere around like 50%, right? So here I've also plugged in that we have a basic store. We should be top rated. And for the most part, I think the consensus is that most resellers are using somewhere around 2.5% for promoted ad rate, especially these days with the new Halo attribution. So the thing is, if we were to reverse engineer exactly what the price would be, well, right now, the calculator is showing me 21.55%. So if I raise it up over here so that we get all the way up to 50%, so this is pretty close. I got 50.25%. Well, what I'm looking at on the sold price here is $36. So you tell me, in your experience as a reseller, how reasonable is it? How realistic is it to consistently find $6 items and be able to flip it for 6x the amount so that you can get 50% of the profit? Now, here's the thing. Most of you will probably say, no, that's probably not that realistic. So we have to bring this down a little bit. So maybe around like 40%. So what do you think of an item that is $6 at $28? What is the likelihood of this consistently? Because if we discount this price any further, then all the numbers are going to change. So this is what I mean. We're trying to pressure test the claims of all these YouTubers and what we hear of what they're saying about, you know, I'm making this much, I'm making that much, and we're doing what percentage based on what revenue, et cetera, et cetera. So again, by the end of this video, you'll learn how to calculate stuff so that whatever video that you watch, whatever numbers that they throw in your way, you could go ahead and just reverse engineer to just see if it's even realistic. So let's say we were to work with this particular number. Let's bring up a profit calculator of our own on the side over here, because here's the thing. I need to know how to get back our original cost of goods, right? So what do they tell you here? Because we need a quantity to work with. They tell you to do 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day, 30 a day. You know, if you actually did 30 a day without fail, you're talking about like 900 units. So 900 units multiplied by your item cost of $6, we're talking about 5,400 bucks here. It's a pretty big investment. So the thing is that whenever you make a sale, you get your item cost back just for that sale. So we need to go ahead and add $6 to $11.20 over here, making it $17.20. So here we would just go ahead and divide 17.2 equals 31,3.95. So Basically, this is saying we need to sell about 314 units just to make back our initial $5,400. And this is without gas money or wear and tear in the vehicle or any other kind of lunch money that you might want to factor in later. So the question now is that, okay, what is the accuracy percentage here that we have to predict correctly? Meaning that when we go out and every single item that we get, the things that need to sell in order to break even, we need to be correct how often. So what you would do here is that you would take the 314 or this particular number, and then we would divide this by 900 units, hit the percentage equals 34.88. Basically, you have to be correct 35% of the time. So I hope that's very eye-opening for people that for this particular setting that we're looking at on screen, you need to be correct 35% of the time to even break even on just the goods alone. Now, the question is, if we are going to raise up the accuracy, let's say we're correct half of the time. Well, half of the time would be in excess of 15% on top, because 50% minus 35% is 15%. So what is 15% of 900? Well, you take 15 and you multiply by 900 here, hit percentage, and then there you go, 135 units. Now, we already got all our money back, the 5,400, by being able to flip the initial 35%. So therefore, everything else is gravy afterwards. So $135 multiplied by 17.2 equals $2,322. Now, here's the thing about reselling. You already spent all of the labor up front. You had to go collect the items. You had to drive it home. You had to process this, wash this, put them away, take photos, list it, come up with titles. All that labor, how are you to be compensated for this? So as a solo entrepreneur, it's very difficult to document how many hours that you're putting in. It's not like you have a punch clock coming in and out. So therefore, the best way to calculate this is by piecework. Basically, it means that if you were working for some company and they asked you to do reselling, how much they would compensate you per piece. So how much effort have you put in? 900 units worth. So therefore, from here, without deducting gas, wear and tear, lunch money, anything else, shout outs to Wild Bill. He's a super math guy. He likes to calculate all that stuff. I think he'll chime in the comments later if you guys check it out, and he'll tell you a lot of things that you need to consider. There's a lot of other senior lounger members that usually chime in as well. Exquisite, Sarabelle, JT4000, DC Gaming, all have excellent comments all the time of things that people probably didn't think of that they needed to consider. But for the sake of simple math, I'm just going to go ahead and divide this now by the 900 units of effort. You are compensated $2.58. Would you do it for $2.58 per piece? That's the question. Now, let's say you are better than this. You are able to get it right 70% of the time, 7 out of 10. Every 10 items that you get, 7 is going to turn over. So pretty accurate. So that's basically double of what we had before, because you had to be accurate at 35% to make $5,400 back. So you would get another $5,400 on top of this. So if we clear over here and then we have 5,400, let's say this particular time we subtract a little bit of gas money. Let's say $200 for the month on gas money. Seems about right. Now, if I subtract $200 here, we have $5,200. But now from here, I'm going to go ahead and what? Divide 900 units of effort, because that doesn't change. Out. We're being paid about $5.78 per piece. Are you okay with that? So this is really something for people to take a step back. It's eye-opening when people ask the question, can you make a full-time living? Can you, et cetera, et cetera. Now this, mind you, is at 30 units per month. What if you were to do just 10 units per month? Then it would be a third of the 5,400. but the hit rate, accuracy rate would still be the same. So for those of you who might want to see this, I'll perform this for you guys. So it would be 10 items a day for 30 days. So we were talking about 300 items multiplied by $6 per cog. So therefore you have 1,800. So 100,800, and then we divide this by 17.2 because that is still the same amount here. You get 104.65. And then from here, you divide by the 300, and then you hit the percentage equals 34.88. So the percentage that you have, the accuracy that you need, that doesn't change. So there's a big issue here because you'll notice that it's very difficult to make money when it comes to just doing volume. And I'll show you what happens if your sold price needs to go even lower so that your accuracy can go higher, because the chance of your item selling at a lower price is going to be higher. So that's going to raise your accuracy. So therefore, let's say we get an item at $6. Would it be more plausible to get something at $6 and then flip it at $23? So if we're at $23 over here, and then we pull up the profit calculator one more time, the cost of the goods doesn't change. If we're doing 900 items at $6, it's still going to be $5,400 that we're working with, the initial investment. But the problem now is that the profit on top of this is a lot lower. So therefore, when we add $6 to $6.89, we're talking about dividing this by $12.89. This now equals 418.9. Basically, we have to flip 419 units out of 900 units in order to just break even. Not even really break even because you're still losing out on the gas money, but just to get your initial cash up front back. So from here, you would divide by your 900 units, percentage, enter, and you got 46.54. You need an accuracy of 46.5% now in order to make this happen. And then the rest of the calculations you could go ahead and do on top of this. So this is my explanation, right, of why, de novo flips had it correct, where the focus was not on more volume. So when these content creators tell you to race to volume or you got to do more volume, it's a lot of baloney. He focused on the quality items that are definitely going to flip, and his ASP was very high. So even though his profit margin wasn't that much higher than some of these resellers who claim 50%, but it was still very good money. For example, one of the items that he would get was the Nest cameras. And for the Nest cameras, he would pay something like $150 for the cost of this. And he would probably have to spend something up to about $25 worth of shipping. But the sold price of this thing was about $400. And it was so sought after that he's never promoted anything a day in his life. And everything that he picked up flipped within 72 hours. So he had 100% hit rate. And look at his total profit here. Now, we're not even in the correct category. So if I was to update this over to consumer electronics, look at his profit. It's $190. So granted, he's only at 47.74 margins, not as high as what some of the gurus claim at 50%. But his total profit at $190, yo, you do this once or twice a day for the next 30 days. You know how much money this is? Even if we were to do this just once a day, you're talking about $190 multiplied by 30 days. Okay, 190 times 30 equals $5,700. And how much effort, how much labor is put into this? Really something to consider when you're trying to get into this reseller space. It kind of explains a lot, doesn't it? It kind of explains why people who are new to reselling and don't have a very high accuracy rating are struggling so bad. This is why for many of the vlog channels of new resellers, you're listening to the train wreck of a story. And for other people who might be a little more experienced or very, very knowledgeable in brands and stuff, yeah, they're going to be able to do a lot better. The accuracy rating here, that's what the risk actually is. What you're supposed to really be doing is what? Establishing a winning item after winning item. Because ultimately, when we go out and we try things, yeah, we have a good idea that it's probably going to sell. We have a good feeling about it, but we're never really sure until we actually try. And we're never exactly sure of what the sale price is going to be until we try. And then we adjust, and then it starts to click and it starts to move. But what we need to do in business is to capitalize on our wins. And it's very difficult in reselling if the items that you're dealing with, you have to constantly go find more of it and constantly try new things. So by the time you finally find something that sells and you don't have more of it, you're creating your own limitations here. And this is why I constantly advise people that when you start with an item, you want to do something that you could always know that you could come back and get more of. It's got to be a replenishable item. Because this way, when you did the piecework of the upfront efforts, I created the listing, I found the item, I did the sale. Afterwards, all you need is inventory of it, and now the whole sale is on autopilot. So even if you were as bad as, let's say, I only have 4 replenishable items and they only sell about 2 a day, that's 8 sales that I don't have to really work for because I already put in the groundwork for it. Really something to consider when you are trying to be a seller. Because in the beginning, the reason why you do this is because you don't have very good sourcing contacts. But over time, this is something that you have to work on. To be an entrepreneur is about being a go-getter and a problem solver. Always look into how can I acquire more of something in case it does well. That way I could capitalize on my wins. I will do a more in-depth and formal class on this one if you guys found this one particularly interesting, and we'll plug in more numbers so that we could ask more questions, and I'll even show you all of the clips of exactly where I'm getting all this funky monkey advice from that we're trying to pressure test here. Anyways, guys, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big like, and if you learned something, please consider subscribing. As always, see you guys in the next. Take care.